Hello there, vinyl community. Back here with another vinyl update. Got a lot of records to show, a lot of 8 tracks. And I was recording this initially, but then I took a break. And when I was on Facebook, I read that Greg Allman passed away. So rest in peace to that. I do have an Allman Brothers item to show. So I'm going to go into it. These came from all over the place. First, I'm going to show an online purchase. I'm going to take it out of the resealable sleeve. And I was super stoked to get this. It's an album I've been looking for forever in absolutely stellar condition. It's a promotional copy of Sunshine Superman by Donovan in mono. There's the little promo sticker. It's just beautiful condition. No seam splits, barely any ring wear, and the disc on it is just beautiful. It's just in a rounded corner inner sleeve, but this disc is just stunning. Original mono pressing, promotional. You don't find those too often. So that's the one online purchase I got. This first bunch I'm going to show came from a flea market. So I'm going to go into that. Here's a real interesting one. It's a German first issue of Blind Faith's first album with an alternate cover. Laminated. It's on Polydor. It's pretty clean. Let me take it out. Pretty clean condition. Really nice too. Good sound quality on it. Just putting this away over here. Next, I got some shrink-wrapped albums, an original Inagata Davida in the shrink-wrap, just beautiful condition. You know, really, really nice. No seam splits, original inner, and the disc on it is beautiful, heavy vinyl, just almost near mint. This one is near mint. Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon & Garfunkel on the shrink. Beautiful condition. I don't think this is an original issue because it's not on the 360 label. It's just on a normal black and yellow Columbia label, but it's still very minty and a very welcome addition to the collection. This is a weird kind of compilation album from Germany that came out in 1968. It's called Underground, and this has, just look at the artists that they have on it. It's a lot of artists you wouldn't expect to see on a compilation this early. You got stuff like Cream, Hendrix, Velvet Underground, The Trinity, Mother's Invention, all the stuff that this was relatively hard to get in the later 60s. And really nice condition vinyl. This is a 2-record set. Both records are on Polydor. I was really glad to get this. It's a really clean copy of Umaguma by Pink Floyd. Has ring wear but no splits, and everything on this is just really nice. Look at the spine on it, just beautiful spine. Another 2-record set, and both discs look unplayed. It's just minty, beautiful condition. I'm really glad to add that to the collection. This is pretty beat up, but I picked it up anyway because I've been looking for this album for a long time. Never seen an original in person. T-Rex, Electric Warrior. Covered in ringwear, someone had fun with an X-Acto knife to the back, as you can see. But the disc, even though it's beat, plays surprisingly really well. I'll show the disc right now, but it's just actually not a bad playing disc at all. It sounds pretty nice. And it has scratches and scuffs, but it's still very glossy. Really glad to add this to the collection. George Harrison, Dark Horse. Harrison album I didn't own before. Really good album, too. If you haven't listened to it, definitely check this album out. Really clean also, near mint. This is a rarity right here. It's very hard to find with this cover because this cover art was withdrawn. Pardon me. And very hard to find with this cover. The Rat cover of Ben by Michael Jackson. I found this at a thrift store, okay? It was amazing. My local Goodwill has records for 59 cents a piece. This was from the thrift store the same day I went to the flea market. I was shocked that I found this, and it's very clean, too. Original inner. Disc looks beautiful. Not something you find at thrift stores too often. Back to flea market stuff. Here's Sweet with Desolation Boulevard. Another one I'm really happy to pick up. Great album, US pressing, with the original inner on Capitol in beautiful, stunning condition. Actually looks unplayed. Really nice there. I was glad to add this because I've been looking for this album for a very long time, and to find it at the flea market for under $5. Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. You probably can't see it, but Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Really, not a bad copy at all. The disc is beautiful on it. The cover has just stains and stuff, but no splits. On Columbia, beautiful condition. I was really glad that I found these records. These were all pretty much from the same booth. Whoever had these took care of them. This one is beat up. but I picked it up anyway because it was $1. The Doors' first album. This is on the gold label, which my other copy is the '69 reissue, so it's on the red label. So that's why I picked it up, just so I could have a gold label copy in the collection. Really, really beat up, but not bad at all. James Gang live in concert. Really a cool one to have in the collection. This was from the thrift store, and the last record I'm going to show after this is from the thrift store. And then I'm going to go on to some other stuff I got. James Gang live in concert. And Encore with Santo and Johnny. I already have their first album in like minty shape, so finding this in just about the same condition is nice too. On Canadian American Records. That's Canadian American label. Real nice. So now we're going to go on to some more finds. Alright, now I'd like to show some finds that I got while I was in Colorado visiting there for a week. I got a lot of records to show, and I'm filming this on another day. This is now Tuesday. I filmed that last bit probably on Saturday. I graduated high school Sunday, so this is all the stuff that I'm showing for Colorado. This is the first record I got, which is kind of a grail for me. Really hard to find Psych pop album, The Hobbits Down to Middle Earth. Really not a bad copy at all. I was gonna say not a nice copy. I'm like, this is actually a pretty good copy. Has the original inner, and the disc on it looks very, very, very nice. It looks almost unplayed, and it's a pretty good kind of psych poppy album if that's the kind of stuff you like. So definitely check it out. Children of the Future by the Steve Miller Band. This is the first issue of their debut album, and it's just really clean too. If you make out the green slime at the bottom, it actually says Children of the Future. It's really hard to see. It took me a while to see it. But I think for you to properly be able to see it, you have to be probably high or something, because it took me like at least an hour to try to see it. You know, it was hard to see. You had to squint your eyes and you're like, oh yeah, that says Children of the Future. But original, minty, minty copy. It's beautiful condition. Really glad to add it to the collection. Most of these came from thrift stores, I should mention. I got really, really lucky there. Some of this is flea market over there, but none of these records were more than $1, okay? Moody Blues in Search of the Lost Chord. This is a massive upgrade for me. This is a minty copy. My other copy is really nice, except there's some distortion noticeable, wear to the record noticeable on Legend of a Mind, and the spine isn't as nice. But if I show you the disc, a minty, minty copy on DRAM. Just beautiful. Looks unplayed, so really glad to add this in the collection. Here's a Mo-Fi record next. Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown. I don't have a lot of Gordon Lightfoot in my collection. I have another one I'm going to show from him in this video. But it has all the inserts and stuff. It's really cool. This was $1 too, so I was really, really stoked to find this. You know, nothing inside. This little thing where you send off to let them know about the quality. And of course the classic Mo-Fi paper, not paper, but plastic sleeve, and this thing's beautiful also. Looks unplayed. Really glad to add it to the collection. Here's a really nice one in the shrink, just beautiful, by a very, very famous artist in Colorado. John Denver, Poems, Prayers, and Promises, and the shrink wrap with the hype sticker. I just really like the hype sticker. This was from the thrift store. I was really glad to find this. And the disc on it looks unplayed on RCA. Just beautiful, just beautiful. I really scored some of these finds because a lot of these, the discs look just beautiful. Songs for Beginners by Graham Nash. Every time I would see this album, it didn't have the original inner sleeve. And this one has the original inner sleeve, so I bought it pretty much just on that alone. I'm like, finally, one with the inner sleeve. And disc again is beautiful. So, really glad to have it. Original on Atco. Another original on Atco. Stephen Still, self-titled album. This came out 1970. Just really clean too. The disc on this is ridiculously heavy. I forgot that I put a single in here, and I've been meaning to take it out. So I'm going to show that single just randomly, okay? Because I haven't cleaned it yet. But it's a promo copy of Parvy and the Raiders. It's promo stamped right up there. Not sure if you can see it. But it's ups and downs back to Leslie. So I kept on forgetting to take that out since the flight. But anyway, has the original inner. And the disc on it is beautiful. So, really glad to add this to the collection, you know? Been looking for it. Best of the Cowsills. I don't like this cover, though. I think the cover looks a bit goofy. I felt like they should have used a really good photo of the whole family together. And, of course, looks nice condition. Has just normal paper in a sleeve, and it's on the blue and gold MGM. Gordon Lightfoot, The Way I Feel. This is his second album. This came out '67, I believe, and it's in the shrink. Really, really nice. I don't think it's an original '67 copy, though, because it's on the pink and orange UA label, which this was used in '68, I believe, or late '67, maybe. So, you know, it still might be a '67 copy. I just need to research it, you know, go on Discogs or something. So, by Peter Gabriel. Pretty nice copy. Side 1, Side 2 on Geffen Records. I don't have any Peter Gabriel in my collection, so I was glad to find this. You know, he just got inducted into the Rock Hall last year. This is an upgrade for me. Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. It's a Columbia Record Club pressing, and this copy is really, really just beautiful condition. My other copy had a big split in the spine that was taped, but the disc on it was nice. This one doesn't have a big split, and the disc on it is nice. So you can have your cake and eat it too, because it's really nice, and it's a Record Club pressing. And it's very, very flimsy vinyl, I should mention. My other copy I remember being heavy. This one's pretty flimsy. This is my first record by this artist in my collection, and I have really enjoyed what I've heard on this record so far. Etta James, self-titled. Just a very kind of bluesy soul voice. She has a wonderful voice if you haven't heard her. This is on Chess Records. This came out sometime in the '70s. But this album's actually pretty funky, too. Like, it's a pretty funk album. So if you find it, which I don't think it's that hard to find, you should totally check it out. Soundtrack to 2001: A Space Odyssey. I see this all the time, but it's always like $10 or something. I saw this one for the $1, for $1, not the dollar. But, yeah, I pulled the trigger on it, and I got it. Disc on it is nice. It looks unplayed. Just look at that vinyl. That's beautiful. So, you know, figured I should buy it just because it's really nice condition. Probably not going to listen to it often, though. Herbie Mann, Mississippi Gambler. This one is really weird. It caught me off guard when I got it. It has the gatefold and stuff, but the record doesn't come out where you'd expect. It comes out where the spine is, okay? So that really caught me off guard, but it has the original inner. And the disc on it is also really, really nice. Who else is featured on this album? I know that you have a lot of guests on here. You have David Newman. I like they have the song I Can't Get No Satisfaction, which is, of course, a jazz version, but they have it credited to Keith Richard instead of Keith Richards. So yeah, Mick Jagger and Keith Richard. This is an upgrade for me, too. The Grassroots 16 Greatest Hits. This is in the shrink, which is why I got it. None of my copies are in the shrink. And this copy looks unplayed. It's just beautiful condition. I know this is a very, very common album, but to find it minty like that, I was glad. And also, I like watching The Office. So if you catch the relation between there and the Grassroots, then congratulations. I have 2 records by modern bands to show. And I only picked these up because they were at the thrift store and they were $1 each, and they're records I normally wouldn't buy, but since they were $1, I decided to pick them up anyway. And they're not even modern bands I've ever really heard of. So, yeah, this is like some hipster music right here, but Night's Visions by Imagine Dragons. Obviously, who had these before me didn't take care of them, which, the covers aren't that great, but the discs look unplayed. I like to think someone probably just had them on display because the records look unplayed, but the covers have some wear to them. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to play these. I probably will just to see if there's anything on it I like. This one I've already played a little bit of, and the singer's voice is kind of weird, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything great, but it was okay. Silver Sun Pickups, Neck of the Woods. Yeah, from the thrift store, 2-record set, 180 gram for $1. I'm not going to pass that up. And it comes with an insert, a download code. I haven't tried out the download code, but something tells me that it's probably still good. Because like I said, the records look unplayed. But like, these, you know, just the way these are, I think someone had them on display. But let me show one of the discs. Of course, looking mint. And the labels are interesting. So that's really cool. I have a library copy of a record next. This is Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band live. It has a taped tear over there. I found this at the thrift store too, so I decided to grab it. 2-record set of him live. So you can't really go wrong with any Bob Seger. I haven't cleaned it, which is very apparent in the video. It's a very dirty record. And you can hear the dirt scraping in the sleeve, which that's one of my pet peeves. I hate putting dirty records back in sleeves because you can hear the dirt in there. You know, I need to clean this after the video. But either way, it looks really nice. I bought it because there's not a lot of scratches. It has a lot of luster, and this record has a lot of life left in it, you know. So I figured I'd grab it, even though it's pretty dirty. I just need to clean it, and it'll be a pretty okay copy. Final record I'm going to show before I go on to even more records that I got when I came back to Florida was Johnny Rivers, A Touch of Gold. I don't know why I got this. It was like $1, and it's nice, don't get me wrong, but it does have some scratches on it. I never find any Johnny Rivers in nice condition. You're pretty hard struck to find any Johnny Rivers looking beautiful. So, I'd like to show my next vinyl finds. So now I'd like to show my last bit of records before I go on my 8-track finds. Here's the first one. It's my first record on Blue Note Records, so I was really excited to find this. All these records I'm going to show were $1, by the way. Royal Flush by Donald Byrd. This is a 70s reissue. It's not on the blue and yellow. I mean blue and white, not blue and yellow. But it is on the blue and black label. The record is probably good at best. The record's definitely been played a lot, seen a lot of use, but it still has a little bit of life left in it. It has like this weird paint stuff on it. I couldn't clean it off, but when the needle passed it, it didn't really make a lot of noise and it didn't skip, so I'll play it either way, but it has a really nice cover for such a bad disc, so I'll probably find one and probably find a better disc to put with the cover. This is a rare Psych album that I found there, and I was really stoked to find this. Great Jones, All Bowed Down. This is just really hard to find. This is a very weird kind of album, and they have a good sound. It describes on the back cover, you have a jazz-loving guitarist, a blues-loving drummer, and an ex-folk singing bassist. If you really want to hear the best songs on here, look for All Bowed Down and United State of Mind. And those are the two best on here. And the record label's cool, too. It's on Tonsil Records. If you've never heard of this, then you're not the only one. I listened to it. It was really, really good. And really hard to find Psych, so if you find it, I highly recommend getting it. Great Jones. This is a white label promo right here, and it's a early white label promo too, so it's really cool. I'll Keep You Satisfied by Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas. It's stamped on the back, audition copy, and you have the date from the station written up here. But then when you get it, it's on Imperial, I believe. Yeah, Imperial, and it's a white label promo, so that was really, really, really cool to find. Original audition copy, and I just think that's great. I very, very rarely see white label promo LPs from the 60s. Normally you find that with the singles. You never find them with the actual albums. So I was really glad to get that. Another really cool one, the Swingin' Medallions, Double Shot of My Baby's Love. Of course, the one-hit wonder by the Swingin' Medallions. This was their only album, too, and I think they were based out of Texas, and the disc on it is real nice. Another one-hit wonder, Little Bit of Soul by the Music Explosion. The back cover has some staining, as you can see, but overall it's not a bad copy at all, and it's on Lori Records, and there's some dust on it. That one didn't come off, but that's dust. Lori Records original and stereo, so really cool to add that. This one I thought was going to be pretty psychedelic, but it's not. It's the reverse of psychedelic. So if you're expecting this album to be psychedelic, it's not that psychedelic. Orpheus, I was like, oh, that's a really cool cover, and there's, you know, the sticker on there. I'm like, oh, this is probably some good, at least psych pop. I listened to it. A lot of it has strings. It's not really psyche at all. So if you buy this album expecting just this psychedelic treat, then prepare to be very mildly disappointed. But overall, it's still not a bad album nonetheless. You know, it's just don't expect anything that's you know, mind-blowing acid rock. And here's the final record before I go on to some 8 tracks. This is Booker T and the MGs with McClemmer Avenue, which is just them doing instrumental versions of songs from Abbey Road. And it's, of course, on Stax Records, which is another first for me. I got my first record on Stax. And, yeah, I played it. It plays really nice, and it's a good album, too, so you should get it. So this is the only CD find that I have for this, of course, 50th anniversary for Sgt Pepper. I'm gonna be getting the vinyl. I still haven't made up my mind on the box, but I did get this CD. The remix sounds absolutely phenomenal. It sounds great. I'm guessing it'll probably sound better on vinyl because I've been hearing mixed things on the CD pressing, but you know, I think it sounds absolutely great, especially She's Leaving Home, being for the benefit of Mr. Kite, Within You Without You. And I've noticed a huge improvement on Good Morning, to where I could actually hear the drums in it now, and I love Ringo's drumming on that song. And that's the booklet. I can be showing the little thing now. 2-disc set. My only thing against this is that they didn't put in inner sleeves for them. I thought that there was going to be a little replica inner sleeves. They did do the cutout, so you know, props to them for doing that. But yeah, the first disc is just the album remix, and the second disc is the outtakes. And the outtakes are very interesting to listen to. But still, I wish they would have done inner sleeves for this. So that's my only CD find. So now I'd like to go on to the 8 tracks. Now I'd like to go on and show my 8-track finds. So this is the first one, and of course this is the one I was talking about being Allman Brothers related. It's Allman Brothers at Fillmore East. It's double play, so it has both discs on one 8-track. So really cool there. This is a weird Venezuelan import, a collection of Beatles oldies but goldies. And look at the label, just says oldies but goldies. But yeah, first time I've ever owned this album, and it's on 8-track. Band on the Run by Wings, really clean. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, kind of bootleg. This is one that is really, really clean. It's Dark Horse by George Harrison. I was really glad to find this one. Let me take it out of the slipcase. Led Zeppelin 2. Really nice one for that. Some of these have the slipcases, not all of them though. This is, I don't think there's much to show with this one, so I'll keep it in the case. It's a Super Session. And the color of the cart is orange. The Four Seasons Gold Hits on Lyric Sounds, which is another kind of bootleg one. Lou Reed, Berlin. And finally, this is a 8-track with heavy songs from 1960 with the slipcase. So just like that track listing. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these finds in the comments. And if you haven't and you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.